We are in the TechXLR8 TV studio, and I'm joined by General Manager from Indeed Prime. It's Shawn Bose. Shawn, let's talk about talent, shall we?
Let's do it.
Now, it's London Tech Week, so let's talk about tech talent. There is, and you see any report on this, there is a massive skills gap, isn't there? There is a massive skills shortage, particularly when it comes to tech talent. What's your view? What are you seeing out in the field?
The biggest change that's been happening, is happening, and will continue to happen is that every company is now a tech company. Over the last 20 years, I've been working in this space, and used to be you'd compete for tech talent just amongst other tech companies, whether that's startups or as the Googles and Facebooks of the world emerged. Now, every single company, all their processes, everything they're built on is based on technical processes, and therefore they need talent. So now, car manufacturers, banks, credit card companies, giant retailers, they all have the need for technical talent. And so you have started to see just more and more roles open up throughout many different verticals, but all relying on attracting the same tech talent that traditionally only went to sort of a single space.
And so there is just not enough of this tech talent. Are there any particular areas of tech where there are more marked skills shortages than other? In security or in, kind of maybe more computational AI type of areas of tech?
Well, there's definitely, technology being what it is changing quickly all the time. And so the bleeding edge talents in AI, yes, cybersecurity, those types of roles, the shortage is even more painfully felt. But really, it's what we're seeing is across the entire space, because even at companies that aren't necessarily doing cutting edge technology, they still need technical talent to transform their old processes to digital processes. So, the numbers we're seeing, across the US, the UK, all over the world, you've got this gap growing every year. I think some of the latest is in the UK, there's going to be about 500,000 new tech jobs over the next 2 years, and universities will only be able to provide less than half of those candidates.
And the salaries for tech jobs, they're continuing to go higher and higher. I was looking at some cybersecurity industry data last week, and cybersecurity is a really hot area in tech at the moment, yet they are, despite six-figure salaries across the board, really struggling to attract talent. So it's more of a case that we're unable to supply that demand rather than people not really wanting to go into it and going elsewhere.
Yeah, there's two things that's interesting there. One is definitely supply. The other is when you talk about these types of candidates, they're really the ones in the driver's seat. And so while salaries will certainly drive, sort of the ability to attract that talent, more and more you're seeing there are other factors at play. So what technologies are you using? Is it a place where the talent think they can continue to upskill? What are the types of teams or projects they're going to work on? They really are in the driver's seat and can make the choice. So when it comes to employers, it's not just about providing high salaries or benefits, but about meaningful work, things that will attract, sort of the best of the best.
And retention as well. Once you have been able to recruit the tech talent you're looking for, it's keeping them interested, because this whole concept of a job for life is very, very rare now. And I guess you've got the other extreme where you've got more jobbing, a jobbing generation where, brilliant, I've been in this job for 18 months, I've got some new skills, time to go upwards in a ladder with a different organization.
Yeah, absolutely. And what you're seeing is a lot of, especially larger companies that have the ability to do this, are creating sort of programs amongst their tech talent where you're rotating through once every 12 months or 18 months in order to stay fresh, moving them to different types of projects. And in the case of a company like ours at Indeed, which is very large, even moving from a development office in San Francisco to one in Seattle to one in Tokyo. So you're working with different people and different talent and different skill sets, so you remain interested in staying and growing with a certain company.
Well, let's talk about your company, Indeed, in that case. How is that looking to try and address the challenges that organizations are facing? How are you guys using tech, perhaps, to try and address this tech challenge?
So Indeed Prime is specifically focused on this problem. So one of the things that's happened in this space is because of the high demand for this talent, a lot of the traditional channels, tech talent has been tuning them out, right? They're getting inundated with LinkedIn requests or recruiter requests and all these types of things, and you don't know if they're ready to make a change, if they really want to look. So what we've done is we've created a process where when someone in this space is ready to make a move, they actually apply and we vet them. So we look at their skills, we look at their background. In many cases we might even have them take coding tests online so that we can figure out if they truly are sort of at a certain level. And then we have companies who come and join the platform and we match them from their job roles with this talent. So we create a really liquid marketplace where these people are change ready, and so employers who are looking for those roles know that we're bringing them really top talent.
And is that just across the tech space, or is that broader than
Prime
tech?
is focused on tech. This is such a real problem, and it's a big one, right? So in and of itself, we think this is a big problem to solve, and that's why we've started our own sort of business within a business to address this need. And we think it's got, this isn't going to go anywhere. So this is a problem that we're going to continue to try to solve.
Well, I was going to say to wrap, what's next? How is the market evolving? How is the market changing? More and more companies are showing their true colors and being tech companies, like you say earlier on.
Yep.
It's a gap that's only going to continue growing, isn't it?
No, absolutely. And this is where employers and the space is going to need to find what we call that non-traditional candidate. So of the people who are working in tech, many of them may never have studied computer science in university or even taken a computer science course, but they might be making a career change. A teacher who then goes to coding camp who actually has great skills. And so it's up to employers to really find those people. And one of the things we're doing at Prime is trying to assess these new candidates so that they can be on par with the traditional candidate who comes from the university, who might have worked at Google, but saying you need to look elsewhere for talent because otherwise these roles will just go unfilled.
Of course. And before we go, Shawn, London Tech Week, what are you making of the event? What are you making of TechXLR8 here? So many different companies, so many different types of technologies, all under one roof.
No, I mean, it's exciting. I've been coming to London for years. Just seeing Shoreditch grow, over the last 7-8 years is incredible. But, the representation of all the different types of technology companies here is pretty exciting. So it's good to be a part of it.
Fantastic. It's great that you've been able to join us here today. Have a great rest of week here. It's Shawn Bose, General Manager of Indeed Prime. Thank you very much.
Thank you.